Hello students. So students, we will continue with the same chapter, that is matter in our surroundings. Please open page number 8. All of you open page number 8 and just refer activity 1.13. Okay. So I will explain you the activity. Okay, first of all, you know what do you mean by change of state? When one state changes to another. Generally solid it changes to liquid and liquid changes to vapor or the gaseous state. But students, there are certain substances, okay? There are certain substances which changes directly to vapor state, okay? Or I will say that there are certain solids, okay, solids which directly changes to vapor, okay. They do not change to liquid but directly they change to vapor, and this is called as sublimation. Sublimation is a process in which the solids directly changes into vapor without changing into liquids, and this process is called as sublimation. Just refer this activity 1.13. All of you see your book. Now students, this is one tripod stand and this is flame, okay. Over the tripod stand a wire gauze is kept, and over this wire gauze this china dish is kept. So china dish is actually like this, students, like this. This is china dish like this, okay, understood. And below the burner is kept. Now this is china dish, and can you see this? This is inverted funnel, okay. Funnel is like this, okay. Funnel is like this. This is funnel, but over the china dish this inverted funnel is kept, understood, like this. Now in this china dish is kept one substance which is called as ammonium chloride, and this ammonium chloride, okay, this ammonium chloride is solid. Now what happens when it is heated? This solid ammonium chloride, it directly changes into vapor state. Ammonium chloride is solid, okay, so on heating it should change to liquid, okay, and then liquid should change to vapor, but here ammonium chloride directly changes into vapor, okay. And when this vapor comes in contact with the cooler surface of this funnel, what happened? It changes into solid. So here the solid changes into vapor and vapor changes into solid, okay. So this is called as sublimation, sublimation of ammonium chloride. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now what is the effect of change of pressure? What is the effect of change of pressure? Refer 1.4.2. Now what do you mean by effect of change of pressure? Anyone can tell me? This we have discussed before also, students. Now see here, now this is a, you can see this is a, here there are particles of gas, this is piston, okay. Now when this pressure is applied by the piston, what happens? The particles of gas comes closer to each other. Now what, okay, so see here the pressure is increased more, the particles will come more closer to each other, okay. So when the pressure is increased, what happens? The particles of gas, they come nearer to each other, and when the particles of gases, they come nearer to each other, what is this state called? It is liquid state, because in liquid state only the particles are closer to each other compared to that of gas, and we can say that they change to liquid, understood? Have you understood, all of you? So applying pressure, see here, applying pressure and reducing temperature can liquefy gases. Now you know that in gases particles are far from each other, okay. So you have studied this. So in gases the particles, let us say the particles are far from each other, okay. Now when the pressure is applied, what will happen? These particles will come closer to each other like this, okay. The particles will not come so close to each other, and particles will not be so far also, okay. But the particles will, gaseous, on applying pressure, particles of gas, they will come closer to each other, and this is a liquid state, understood? So on applying pressure, the gases can be liquefied. They can be changed into liquid on applying pressure and on reducing temperature. I hope you have heard about solid carbon dioxide. Actually, carbon dioxide is a gas. So solid carbon dioxide is stored under high pressure. That carbon dioxide gas, high pressure is applied and it changes into solid carbon dioxide. Understood? See here, it is stored under high pressure. Solid carbon dioxide get converted directly to gaseous state on decrease of pressure to 1 atmosphere. So on increasing the pressure on carbon dioxide gas or on applying a pressure on carbon dioxide gas, it can be converted into solid form. And when this in solid carbon dioxide, if the pressure is released by 1 atmosphere, again it can be converted into gaseous form without coming into liquid state. This is the reason that solid carbon dioxide is known as dry ice, because here temperature is also reduced. So can we say that pressure and temperature determine the state of the substance, whether it will be solid, liquid or gas? Yes. Okay, now this please do these questions in homework, first, second and 4. And students, please submit your homework in a PDF format. Okay. Now what is evaporation? Now students, have you in your everyday life, have you come across any or can you give me an example where the liquid changes to vapor without reaching boiling? Generally when the liquid is boiled, then the liquid changes to vapor. But can you give any example where the liquid changes to vapor without boiling, without reaching the boiling point? Please just, you can WhatsApp me the answer, but please don't write this example which is given in the book. Any other example? Okay. I hope you have understood what I am asking, where the liquid changes to vapor without reaching the boiling point, reaching 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, so example which is given in your book is wet clothes dry up. Yes, because wet clothes, when you dry these wet clothes, when you spread the clothes under the sun, what happens? It dries up. How it dries up? Because here the water, it changes into water of the clothes changes into vapor without reaching the boiling point. So here the water of the clothes, they don't reach 100 degrees centigrade and then change into vapor. No. Okay, just below boiling point only they change into vapor state. Now we know that the particles of matter are all, you know that particles of matter are moving. In case of solids, the movement is less, liquid the movement is more, and gases they move freely, the movement is more. Okay, now at a given temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles of solid, liquid, gas is different. Now see here, in case of solid, okay, at a given temperature, let us say the temperature is 50 degree. Okay, let us take this. So at this temperature, you know, in solids the particles are very close to each other. So here at 50 degree temperature, the particles of solid will move, but in their own position. But at 50 degree temperature, what will happen? They will gain heat or no? I told you, heat, temperature increases kinetic energy. But at 50 degree centigrade, they will move slightly fast. And I told you energy of motion. Sorry. Yes, that is called as kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? The energy possessed by the moving particles. Anything moving, okay, suppose this is moving, okay, or see this pen is moving, can you see? So means it has kinetic energy. Now you see, it has kinetic energy, but kinetic energy is less. Now it is moving fast, it has kinetic energy, but it has, now the kinetic energy is more. Now kinetic energy is more than the previous two cases. So here in solids or at a particular temperature, let us say 50 degrees centigrade, the particles will have kinetic energy, so they will move slightly more or slightly fast. In case of liquids, suppose if these are suppose these are the particles of liquids, okay. Now in particles of liquid at 50 degree, what happens? Particles of liquid move more than that of solids, but at 50 degree they will have kinetic energy and they will move slightly faster, or they will move faster than solids. Whereas in gaseous state, the particles, they move freely. So at 50 degree centigrade they will possess more kinetic energy and they will move more freely, or no? Okay, so that is what is given here. Okay, now in case of liquids, students, okay, suppose this is liquids, suppose this is liquid. Now in case of liquid, suppose this is a vessel and this is water in a vessel. So in case of liquids, okay, the particles which are present on the surface, they have more kinetic energy as compared to this. Okay, or you can also say the particles present on the surface of a liquid, they overcome the forces of attraction from other particles, and that is why they reach on the surface. Okay, so these particles, they are free and they overcome the forces of attraction. Okay, you see here, they have higher kinetic energy. Okay, these particles, suppose these are the, let me say let us say these are the particles. So these particles will have more kinetic energy, they will move fast. Okay, they will move fast, and when they will move fast, they will overcome the force of attraction with the other particles and they will reach on the surface, or no? Now understood? So the particles on the surface have more kinetic energy and they overcome the forces of attraction with other particles, and these particles changes into vapor state, because evaporation is a surface phenomena. The particles on the surface only changes into vapor, not the particles of the liquid present at the bottom. So these particles, they have more energy and they overcome the forces of attraction with other particles. That is why they change into vapor state. I hope it is clear. Now factors affecting evaporation, very simple. Surface area. Surface area affects the process of evaporation. If the surface area is more, see here, let me say this is the surface area, this much. So these particles will change into vapor. Understood? Only these particles will change into vapor. Now if I increase the surface area, if I take the same amount of liquid in a bigger vessel, what will happen? Here now you see the surface area has increased, or no? So now more particles will change into vapor. So what can we say? The rate of evaporation will increase on increasing the surface area. See, all these particles will come on the surface and they will change into vapor state. So we can say the rate of evaporation can be increased by increasing surface area. Yes, with the increase in temperature, on increasing the temperature, the particles, more particles will have kinetic energy, more particles will overcome the force of attraction and will reach on the surface and will change into vapor. So humidity also, if the humidity is less, humidity is what? The amount of water which the air holds. So if the humidity, if the amount of water which the air holds is more, evaporation will be less. But if the amount of vapor which the air holds is less, or you can say if the air is dry, the evaporation will be more. Okay, understood? Speed, increase in wind speed. So these are some of the factors. Students, evaporation causes cooling. See here, how evaporation causes cooling. Now you know, suppose this is the liquid, water taken in the vessel. Now this is the surface phenomena. These particles, they change into vapor, but they need heat to change into vapor. They need heat or no? Okay, so these particles, what they do, they take the heat from the surroundings and change into vapor. Now when they take the heat from the surroundings, what will happen? These surroundings will have lesser amount of heat, so thereby giving or thereby causing cooling. Understood or no? Now it is given here, when you pour some acetone, acetone is nail polish remover, on your palm, you have cool feeling? Because that acetone which you pour on your palm, it evaporates. But for evaporation, for changing into vapor, gaseous state, in gaseous state particles are free. So for that it needs energy to increase its kinetic energy. So for that acetone, particles of acetone, they take the energy, they take the heat of your hand. Understood? What happens when you, again I am repeating, when you pour acetone on your palm, what happens? Your palm gets cool feeling because these acetone particles, they take the heat from your palm and then change into vapor. Because in order to, you know that in vapor state the particles are very far from each other and they move freely, and this liquid need heat energy, okay, to increase the kinetic energy. So they take the heat from your palm. Okay, and in that pot also, that earthen pot which we call matka, that water is kept, it gives cool feeling because that water, it takes the heat from the water particles, from that matka. Okay, now some of the people, they sprinkle water on the roof, or on the open ground. Why? Because water, if it is sprinkled on the roof on a sunny day or on the ground, what happens? The roof is already hot, the ground is already hot. So this water will take the heat from the roof or the ground, and water has a high latent heat of vaporization. So it will take how much amount of heat? 1 kg of water will take 2.25 into 10 raised to power 5 joules per kg of heat. So on a sunny day, when the water is sprinkled on the roof or on the ground, this water takes this much amount of heat from the roof or the ground and changes into vapor. Okay. Understood or no? See here, helps to cool the hot surface. So because if anything is hot, if you sprinkle water, what will happen? That water will take the heat from that thing and it will change into vapor. Because in order to change into vapor, it needs heat energy, and that heat energy is taken from the surroundings. Now students, we wear cotton clothes generally during summers because cotton clothes, okay, and they leave the body cool. The cotton clothes, they absorb water, that is sweat, okay, and that sweat is then exposed to the atmosphere, or that sweat is evaporated. And during summers also, sometimes the body, the sweat, okay, the sweat, it evaporates, okay, and that heat is taken from the body, and which gives a cool feeling. Now why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of the glass containing ice cold water? Now here, so in a glass, if you will take ice cold water and outer surface, you will see drops of water. It is because the air, what is air? Air is vapor, it's gas. So this gas, when it comes in contact with the surface of the glass, outer surface of the glass, what happens? It condenses, okay, see here, coming in contact with the cold glass water, condenses, it loses energy and converts into liquid state. Understood? And how much energy it loses? That is equal to latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so with this we finish this chapter, and in the next 2 classes we will do question and answers, or I may give you PDF file also. Let me see what to do. Okay, so this chapter was very long, students. If you have any doubt, you can clarify your doubts during doubt clarification session. Thank you.